Good evening, good morning. I felt the urge to step outside and speak on this. So you might have to turn the volume up because it's late. I don't like to talk loud at night because I'm not about disturbing neighbors and stuff. I'll probably go down here. But I'm going to touch on a tactic. It's almost like a skill that narcissists have. And they're not stupid people, even if a lot of times they try to portray themselves as such. Like they're stupid and incapable. They're not. They're extremely intelligent people, and they're very tactful. You know, they have a backup with a backup. And if they want to manipulate you and do some fucked up things to you while at the same time portraying themselves as the victim, they'll already have a plan for that, basically. Because they make long-term plans too. They'll make the effort to make you feel like you're special and important, and as soon as they think you're hooked, they go right back to their old bullshit. Well, each time their tactics change a little bit, but they always have a plan and a backup plan for when things don't work out the way they want it. Either a way to control you, a way to, well, it'll be a way to control you, a way to manipulate how people around you and them see you. All that. It's to further their abuse, to get what they want. They think they own you. One of the things they'll do is they'll not just tell you the truth of what they did wrong to hurt you and all that. They'll try to gain on your sympathy on that too, because they know you still care. And once they've got your sympathy and empathy, and they think you've sort of moved past the wrongdoings, they'll continue to kind of portray themselves as your best friend and a victim, in essence. They don't acknowledge any more of what they did to you. They don't think that anything like that's still bothering you, and because you forgive them, it should be water under the bridge. Like, you should not be cautious, like you should suddenly magically trust them. The problem is no matter how smart and intelligent they are, they always give off certain signals of things. And a lot of times you have to start thinking about things in a whether it's a logical or tactful way as well. Like, if I was in their shoes, what would you do? Well, if you really want to continue your abuse and make people look bad, make that person look bad, well, after you did something really seriously fucked up, why not turn around after a couple months when they're starting to heal up and do better? Let's drop back in, love bomb them, do all this shit, get in their good graces again. And in the process, not just tell them the truth and lay it all on the line, but let's go ahead and deactivate our social media. See, this here, they're doing this to tell you, well, I'm doing it because, you know, I realize that social media hasn't been good for me. I've been using it to do bad things. Well, here's the thing. They're still using it to do something very bad. Because once they can get you, like, lured back in and hooked and into a relationship again, if they can get you that far, or even close to it, at any given moment, they can then turn around and say, well, you just forced them to shut down your account. You wouldn't allow them to talk to anybody. You were being abusive towards them, like controlling their life and all this shit. And that's why they couldn't see or talk to anybody, even when they themselves choose to cut people off themselves. They'll eventually then turn around and push that onto you to make it out your fault. So that way they can use that as a way to abuse you more and demonize you more and get people to think that you're the bad person. When really all you were trying to do is not just forgive them, but try to work through that shit and try to have some sort of civilness of a relationship with them, or even a friendship with them. Any format of that. As long as they don't change their fucking ways and don't they know what they're doing at this point. I know they know what they're doing. You're their main victim while they have side pieces going on. If you're not around, they're going to take advantage of that time of when you're not around to be out doing other things that they say they don't do. There'll be things that won't make sense to you, because they'll sit there and talk about how they're more than capable, financially able to care for themselves and pay their bills, but then magically anytime you're around, they're for most part broke, and you're the one buying them groceries, or you're the one buying them food. When they make 3 times, 4 times the money you do, there's something wrong with the picture. And what it is they want to keep you broke. They want to keep control of you. They're controlling your finances this way. They're controlling you through your emotions. And it hurts you a lot through it all, because you know what's going on, because you've been through it before. You just know it's a different situation. And you realize that every time that they do this, it gets worse and worse and worse. They don't care about what they're doing to you. In fact, they don't care about what they're doing to the people around them. They only care about themselves, how they feel, and what they can get out of things. You say anything that calls them out on what they're doing, or comes close to the truth, or anything like that, all of a sudden now, you're the bad guy. You're being evil. You're abusive. They don't just play a short game, they play a long game too. If they genuinely give a shit about what they do wrong to hurt you, they would genuinely go and correct what they did wrong. Not just tell you that they're sorry. They would go and make sure that all the damages, all the lies, all the bullshit that they said would be undone. But they're incapable of that. It's a pride and ego thing. And frankly, I think a lot of them need to start finding some faith in God, because they're exchanging their soul for pride and ego. They will never love anybody genuinely. They'll only love what they can get from somebody. And if they can no longer manipulate you into getting what they want, or keeping you from getting what you need to do in life, because I'll admit it, I have a feeling that, because I'm going to admit the part, obviously people know I've been talking to my narc and stuff. And I've come to that realization that what they're doing is they realize that my home's about to sell. I'm about ready to have a bunch of money so that I can restart my life somewhere else without all this toxic shit around me. And what they see is an opportunity. Not necessarily to, oh, hey, I can move on, get away from this shit too. We can work on this, get better, all that. No, that's not the intent. The intent is they're going to start pulling some shit to try and keep me from doing what I need to do. Basically, the bullshit hole that they dug for themselves, they're going to try and make it your responsibility to take care of for them. And they're going to, and that's the thing, is they're going to try, they've been trying to basically sucker me into another fucked up position. And one that could really fucking hurt. Not just mentally, emotionally, and all. It would really fucking hurt. They think skipping past the healing, the effort to do the healing, skipping past to correcting the lies and the damages and telling people the fucking truth, all this shit, and going right to the end game of what happens in a relationship, not it being over, but trying to go towards a marriage, is going to fix all that. Like, they're going to play your emotions. It's like, they know that's what you wanted. They're going to give it, but at a cost. Because now they can, with that, at any given moment, considering they've shown multiple times how easy it is to throw me away, how easy it is for them to cheat, how easy it is to do a character assassinations where I'm concerned, it would be easy for them to then turn around, ditch out, divorce, and take me for everything that I have left that I earned from that house. I don't trust them anymore. And because I don't trust them, that's what's keeping me from allowing them to succeed at that. I love them. I forgive them. But they don't realize that it doesn't work the way they want it to. I don't magically forget. I don't magically hand my trust out on a silver platter and feed it with a silver spoon. And they definitely don't get to drink it from a silver cup either. I've been manipulated enough by that same person that it's caused me to not trust anything that they do. And if they don't like that, then they need to look in the mirror about what they've been doing for the last several years. Because I've known this person since I was 14 years old. We were high school sweethearts. I loved them. I still love them. That's why it's been so hard. But since we got back together after my wife left and I was in that hospital, which I have a lot of questions now about that whole thing, because I don't know what all happened. I've been dealing with somebody who's been purely using me and manipulating me to get through life and get what they want. While they go around and fuck around behind my back, abuse me behind my back, demonize me behind my back, and tell me they love me to my face while they're stabbing me in the back. And they think I'm not paying attention to what they're doing anymore, when I'm paying even more attention. What I see is somebody who's setting up a situation that if they need a fallback, they got a fallback, and they turn around and be like, oh yeah, he made me do this, he made me do that. Because they want to keep looking like a victim. And beings, I've only seen them 3 times since and the first time talking to them again face to face, that's one of them. I've only seen them like 3-4 times. I can't trust what they do in between time. How easy it's been for them to lie and act like they're the victim. I already recorded them and have posted here our conversation that we had that first night. From her admitting the child abuse to admitting to being a habitual liar to everyone, including myself, down to even lying to try and get me in prison for shit I didn't do. I still think she's lying. I still think she's doing other things. And I pay attention to what's going on in the social media world when it comes to that person and those that they've been involved with, and whether those people they have involved with, all you have to do is Google them and their shit pops up in there. Yeah, that's a tactic of seeing what other people do. That's why, like on Twitter or X now, it doesn't matter if you block someone. All they have to do is fucking type in your handle and they can see all your posts right there. And this includes even if you hit the settings of can't be searched on whatever, you can still be searched. I don't appreciate people lying to me. I don't appreciate people trying to manipulate me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use every one of these experiences as a way to teach other people in hopes that they can avoid it, especially those like myself. I'm very aware. And when it's starting to affect my health again, my mental health again, I'm becoming very drained again, because I was starting to do better, and I do recognize that. I can just go back and see it myself. I was starting to do better. And I'm realizing where a lot of my problems are coming from. It's from a selfish, fucked up human being who will never grow up and will always see themselves as a pretty little princess that is a victim to everyone they hurt. The fact that I found out that the person she cheated on me with was still married with 4 kids and is getting into a divorce, it tells me that that's their backup plan. That's why they want to hurry on one thing and then turn around and fucking throw that away, say it was a mistake type thing, take me for everything and go back to that fucking garbage man. I talk to people too. I ask questions. Because when I get my gut hunches, and I'm very rarely wrong, and it starts affecting my sleep, everything, my eating habits, all of it. That's what it's been doing. It tells me I need to either cut that person off, or I need to find out the truth before it gets worse, and to make sure that it's just not me. You know what I mean? I'm not about to go around and accuse people of things, but I'm recognizing these tactics. I don't trust that person anymore. I've called out what they've would do before, and they did it. Literally 2 weeks later, and I have that documented. I knew what they were up to when they were living a double life. Because when I called them out on that whole double life thing, they kind of laughed about it. I was like, what the fuck do you think you're doing when you're living with another man, having a relationship with him, while on the phone in your other world, you're having a relationship with another man, and you're making intentional plans to go fuck around with him, even though he's either in the middle of a divorce or still married with 4 kids. Mr. Matt Hyde out of Canby, Oregon. You're a piece of shit, dude. I lost all respect for you. Haven't seen you in 20-something years. And then you think blocking me on Facebook or making it where you're not searchable, you're not findable. I already know where you live. And have I acted on it? No. And I know why Melissa doesn't want me to act on it. Because she still has you hooked too. I'm not trusting this situation. And that's why I'm backing away from it, and it's been fucking with me. That's why you've been seeing me on a couple of these last videos. I'm having anxiety attacks. All the shit that's been going on, all this bad shit, is because of that, of her making stupid, selfish, narcissistic choices for herself, not giving a shit about how it's affecting myself or even our animals. She wasn't out fucking around and was watering her own grass. I wouldn't be living here. We'd still be at the house, and my dog would still be alive right now. But instead, she still continues to choose to play games, and she's 42 fucking years old. I'm not about to have my heart and head fucked with for the next 10 years, let alone the next 10 weeks or the next 10 days. If somebody figures out you're a narc and you genuinely love them, then maybe pull your fucking head out of your ass and quit playing games. Because when they start to catch on, and they eventually start realizing they're gonna need to fucking leave your ass in the dust, if you genuinely care about that person, you need to fucking correct your ways. You're a fucking piece of shit. You don't treat people this way and then just expect that when they give you forgiveness that everything's water under the bridge, like it just wipes the slate clean. It's like the analogy that I'm pretty sure we've all heard before. Take a piece of paper, crumple it up, roll it up into a ball, and now try to smooth it out and back into a piece of paper to what it was before. It's not going to happen. You will never succeed at that. You can get an iron, all that shit. It will never be the same. I don't think highly of narcissistic people because of the fact of the level of damage that my very own has done to me. And after going through all this shit, and I'm having to even learn on the trauma bonding aspect on what it's doing and what it is. I'm learning it right now. And I know if that person's watching this shit, like it typically does when I eventually start saying, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not playing these games. You will never have me back so long as you continue to do your habitual bullshit. You can't have a relationship if you can't even have a serious conversation with someone to correct your shit and not just try to pass the blame onto them. I'm done with the games. I'm too old for this shit. I want a better life than this. I want a better home. I want to be able to actually have a business that I can run myself. I want to actually have a life for once, not have somebody who's going to keep emotionally and financially sucking me dry because they can't seem to figure it out themselves. And if they have, you're doing so in a really fucked up way. And moving through life to get what you want off of other people's pain says a lot for you. I don't trust you. I love you. I forgive you. I don't trust you. And you can't earn that trust back when you start repeating the same shit that you did before. You're stonewalling, dismissing, the excuses, the lies that you're telling. Again, I'm not repeating the cycle with you, and I'm not going to give you that opportunity or chance to do what you've been doing to me again. You genuinely are sorry. You're going to fucking go and tell everybody you lied to the fucking truth. I already have you admitting you lied to them all. You habitually lied to everybody, including me. And you still are. I already have you messages, telling me you told your mom that we were talking again and that she can't say anything about it, type thing. So you can't really blame me if something goes on with that, because you're the one who created all this shit. And all I ever asked for was for you to prioritize the relationship, and yet here you are. You're still only prioritizing yourself. You're only trying to get what you want at my expense. You're lying to me, and I already know you've got something on the side still going. Down to, it's kind of strange that your neighbor and I were friendly, then all of a sudden, talking. She's an old lady, really nice old lady. To all of a sudden, when I'm standing outside, she'll go to step outside, and then all of a sudden, nope, shutting the door and locking it. Obviously, shit talking was going on, so I'm not going to be portrayed something I'm not and keep putting myself in that position with that person. Or you, I should say. I am socially retarded. And I understand that, and I recognize my flaws in that. But I do recognize when people are being manipulative, when they're lying, and when what they're saying and doing are two different things. I pay attention to what's going on around it and around them. I start paying attention to what they're doing. And it's like, no, this is one of those situations that, just like I told them, it's real easy to delete messages and delete phone calls off your phone and then screenshot it and say, look, I'm not texting or calling anyone. It's really easy to deactivate your accounts while you're trying to, get back in with someone and then turn around and claim that they were being abusive and forced you to do that. No, you did it on your own. I don't trust you anymore. And I think there's a lot more going on. And I don't think it's ever going to work again, even as friends, because you just can't get your shit together, and you can't seem to figure out that you can't keep abusing people around you and do so repeatedly without them catching on after a while, because you've done it so much to, especially to certain people. Your family knows. There's a reason why your mom covered your ass and helped you get out of that abuse situation. You admitted it. You admitted your own son helped cover your ass with you cheating and being abusive too. He helped you out. And through him, you got my other child to help. Like, you destroyed a family, you destroyed friendships, you done all this shit to try to destroy my life. And I realized that the only way this is going to get better is of two ways. Either you pull your fucking head out of your fucking ass, or I leave you in the dirt. And once I'm gone, my number's changed, everything's changed. It's the only way to get away from this, unless you correct it and do the right thing. And yes, to a degree, this is also a way that I'm also calling out your actions and what you're about to do. It's not just about teaching others on this. I'm recognizing these tactics, and I'm not playing these games anymore. I'm not going to take part in being the target of your abuse while you want to portray me as the abuser and play a victim. We were together for 11 years, and 6 of it, this is what you did to me. You lied to me. You lied to everyone. You treated me like shit. Drained me of everything, financially to emotionally, and everything in between. And then you went around and portrayed me as a piece of shit. Well, you got to do whatever you want. Talk to whoever you want, and even fuck whoever you want. You know, if you were truly with a controlling, abusive man, none of that would have happened. You would have been just a working home. You wouldn't even have been allowed a phone. But I'll leave that to the next guy you do that to, or woman. Unless they're just as fucked up as you are. I'm not playing these games. We're too fucking old for this shit. And the fact that this cycle repeated and is going quickly, a lot quicker, it's telling me no more. My gut's been screaming at me. My head's been screaming at me for a while now, because I see what you're doing and I see what's going on. It doesn't match up anything that you're saying. I mean, the last 2 times I was down there, I got help like once each time by that person, but most of it was them just kind of, you know, I got help. I actually got help a couple times, but most of the time they just wanted to sit at home, lay in bed all day. I'm going to call into work sick all week long and then wonder why their job's at risk and why their job is hounding them. And part of me is starting to wonder if they even have one and if they're making money by other means. I'm actually questioning that now. Because it doesn't matter the job that you work at, county or not. You keep calling in sick 5 days a week. And you end up out of work, like you're not working like on average half the month. The entire time you work there. I'm having trouble believing that you still work there. Like, I'm starting to question if they're not making money by other ways. I mean, if they're still working there, I don't see that job lasting too long, and I feel like that's why they've been trying to get me hooked back in, so that way I can take responsibility for their fuck-ups. So I can pay for that shit. I'm not doing it. They were genuinely remorseful for what they did and feel guilty and all that stuff. They do the right thing, tell people the truth, undo the damages that they did the best they can, and get people to realize that, if those are real friends, they're going to understand that, yeah, you did some stupid shit and now you're having to correct it. That's called integrity. And if you have zero integrity, which that's the one trait a narcissist doesn't have, is integrity. They don't have accountability. They might be accountable to you by telling you the truth behind closed doors, thinking nobody else is going to hear it. But that's a way for them to manipulate you too. They're never going to tell you the full truth. Have a good night.